If you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you've just started, this video is me dumping my brain, sharing everything I've learned over the last year that I've been running this YouTube channel. Now, if you look into the channel details, you'll see that I started the channel back in 2007, January 1st. But it wasn't until a year ago that I started posting like on a regular basis. And in that time, that last year, I've published 25 videos, sometimes posting one video a week, sometimes months between videos. And still I managed to grow the channel from 10 or 12 subscribers to 851. And I'm closing in on 3,000 watch time hours. So in this video, these 3 hours, I'm sharing everything I've learned, and especially focusing on things that are important and all of the things that you don't have to worry about for the first year. So if you don't have time to watch this whole video, you probably don't have time to start a YouTube channel and run a YouTube channel. If, on the other hand, you decide to watch all 3 hours, you're probably going to walk away with enough knowledge to know what's important and what's not. And with that, let's start the video. So you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, huh? Well, let's do an experiment. I'll share everything that I've learned over the last year, because I've been running my channel now for roughly a year. I'll share everything I've learned over the last year, the important bits that you need to think of when you start a YouTube channel, and most of the stuff that you don't have to pay any attention to until maybe a year or two from now if you start today. So yeah, let's see how far we can, or let's see how long we can film before the battery runs out. And I'll just share basically everything. This might be the last video you have to see before you start your own channel. The thing was that I started my channel about a year ago because of an accident, basically. I was, like you can see, I'm mounting some wheels on some roller skates right now, and I'm running a roller skate shop, and I was planning on making some tutorial videos. I've been doing them, a couple of videos, but I needed some more lights. It didn't look right. I wanted it to look better, blah, blah, blah. So I decided I wanted to build a key light because I couldn't afford to buy a key light, or I could afford it, but I didn't really want to. So what I built was that monstrosity right there. And I'm still using that a year later. Now, the coincidence part, or the accident part, was that when I built that, I thought to myself, okay, let me just try to see what it's like to film a how-to project like this and try to figure out how difficult it is. Not really planning to edit the video, not really planning to do anything, but that's how I started this channel, was by building that light and filming it to figure out, well, how hard can it be to make a video like that? And I wasn't even planning on editing it and publishing it or anything. I just wanted to feel what the filming process was like and how difficult it could be, what things I needed to, remember and figure out, and just get a feeling for how much work is it to make some kind of tutorial video. That's more than just standing at a desk and putting some wheels on the skate. And as I did so, and as that light came about, I was like, okay, let me try to edit this together into something remotely cohesive. Trying to make something. Maybe someone has used, I've seen a couple of videos already online about making something similar with cake pans, and, Daniel Schiffer made one about a cake pan light, and several others. So I wanted to make something that looked like a proper key light. And sorry about the crunchy sound, but I wanted to see how big I could make it, and if I could make it feel like a proper key light, because I wanted to use that light also to photograph products for the shop and make small films, just orbits around products or putting them on a turntable, stuff like that. But as I filmed and as I sat down to edit, and it started to come into it started to feel like it was an actual video, so I published it. Now, if you go back to my channel and look at the videos in order, you will see that I published like 2 or 3 other videos before I did the key light video. And those were just like funny tests. But I've been on YouTube since January 1st, 2007. And I published my first video on YouTube on January 1st, 2007. Vacuuming the needles off of the Christmas tree at home. Just for fun. And I'm not a stranger to video editing. I made a music video for some friends of mine many years ago. We filmed on a Sony DV camera, like a mini DV or DV camera. And I edited that footage from a concert together with a stag party into a music video for them. So I've been doing video editing since, like, I used the first version of Premiere before it was even Premiere Pro. So I've always been interested in video, and I bought the DV camera that I used to film the stag party and the concert. I used that camera I bought that camera because I wanted to get into filming stuff, but I could never figure out like the proper use or how dependent good video was on lighting. I never figured out the lighting part. My footage looked like either really brownish, weirdish, underexposed crap, or yeah, it just didn't look good. So it's been going like that all the way. But as the pandemic came along, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube and ended up watching woodworking videos and thinking about starting a woodworking channel. But at the same time, I was more interested in woodworking as a tool to make stuff I needed for the shop or for the home or stuff like that. So I wasn't really into spending hours and hours and hours moving the camera around to get slow-mo shots of cutting wood and that kind of stuff. But once I got building on that thing, that sparked something a year ago, and that sparked an idea to make a channel about me trying to make a channel and building all the gear I need to start a YouTube channel and whatever might happen after that. And that's where we are now. 1 year later, I've made 25 something videos. So approximately every other week, I think, give or take. And I've learned some stuff. I've also learned a lot about what I don't have to think about, things I don't have to consider. Now, let me backtrack a couple of steps. To start a YouTube channel, you need 3 things. You need a camera of some sort. It can be a phone with a camera app. And you need something that you want to talk about. It could be a niche, it could be a topic, an area of interest, a hobby you have, something you want to teach people that you know something about. So having a camera and something you want to communicate to others, and the third part being, well, basic editing skills, how to piece together some kind of story or some kind of narrative that engages people. Well, if you want views, you have to do that. You can, of course, just chuck everything together, just chop it up, put it together, publish, you're all good. But if you want to get somewhere, you need to know how to sort of piece together a story. But those 3 things are the only things you need to start a channel. Everything else, like lighting, audio to a certain extent, are secondary. You need the camera, you need something you want to communicate, and you need to be able to piece whatever you've recorded into something remotely cohesive. And that's it. Everything, like the hours and hours and hours of advice online is not unnecessary, but when you're starting out, you don't need it. because most of it is made so that you will watch other people's channels so that they can make money from ad revenue, from your dreams and your hopes. Now keep that in the back of your head, because it's going to be it's going to be really, really important later on. And we'll circle back to that. This is going to be, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, but it's probably going to be the most informative hour and a half when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, because I'm going to basically talk about everything I've been doing and not doing, and why I haven't done it, and also why I've been doing most of the stuff related to YouTube wrong. This is not a rehash of the old I've been doing YouTube wrong video that I made, which actually got a lot of views. Because this is about what you need to think about when starting a channel, what you don't have to think about when starting a channel, and things that you can think about in a year or maybe 2 whenever you feel ready. But okay, let's this one is done. Let's put that over here. So when it comes to YouTube, let me just show you quickly something that's quite important, and also means that you can ignore a lot of stuff. So let's do that. And we'll get a piece of paper and a marker. Paper. So the three simple things. It's a good thing I carry a marker almost everywhere I go. Is that visible? Yeah. Actually, if we do that and switch to... Oops, that's a bit bright. Let's just do that. Yeah, that's way too close. Like so. Perfect. So, YouTube. When it comes to YouTube, there are 3 things. The mechanical or practical stuff, your content, and editing, thumbnails, titles, making sort of your advertising materials. We'll get back to that. The first part here, this is, I'll just call this mechanical or practical. I don't know, something like that. This is just the practical stuff, like being able to turn on recording on your camera, setting your camera up to record something. It includes audio, video, and lights. That's it. These 3 things, audio, video, lights, at the bare minimum, knowing a little bit about this, you're good. You can start making videos. It could be that you just take your phone, put it in the stand. Where did I put my stand? Why is it... Okay, let's do it super stupid. Now turn your phone on. Put it on a stand like that. I mean, you're ready to make your first video. You're ready to make your first YouTube video by doing this. Turning on the camera and pressing record. And you're done. You've basically done video and audio. It's not going to be great, but it really isn't that hard. It's a toilet roll. It's a phone. It records audio and video, and you're good to go. Lights, well, this is like, this problem here is that there's so many videos saying that you need to know this, you need to do that, and everything, and the grandmother and whatnot. But as long as you can get this just sort of good, you can start making videos, and people are doing that. Now, when it comes to video, a lot of people will say that, well, video quality doesn't really matter. What you get from your phone is good enough, and you don't have to think that much about it. And that's true. That's level 1. As long as you can record something on your phone, you're good. Audio is a little bit different. The problem with audio is often people, and let's see, the problem isn't that now we have to do this, and let's go to 200. Yeah, 400. No, there we go. The problem with audio is not the audio of the phone is bad, but the room you're recording in, if it's a lot less stuff than in here, you will get room audio, as in reverb, as in it's sounding like you're in a big half-empty box. If you can improve that, that will instantly level up your videos. And that's one of the things that you might want to think about. Getting a really cheap mic. The first one I got was the Rode VideoMic Go 2. It's a shotgun mic. It's meant to be at a pretty close distance to you, like an arm's length and then some, which is a good distance to have your camera as well if you're doing talking heads. So I got that and started doing some talking head stuff, and that worked out really well. The second thing I figured out that I needed in terms of microphones and better audio was that I was moving around a lot for some of the stuff I was filming, like I'm doing now. So I can go over here and talk, and the audio is the same because I'm using the DJI Mic 2. And the DJI Mic 2 allows me to move around the space, talk to the camera, and do some of the projects I do. You don't need both of them. If you're doing just talking head videos, you can just use a Rode VideoMic Go 2. There are several other models from different manufacturers that do basically the same. This doesn't require power. It gets power from whatever it's connected to, which means it's one less thing to think about when it comes to batteries. But switching back to what you need to think about when starting a YouTube channel is, this is good enough. Most cameras on phones are good enough to start making videos. Audio, you might want to consider something like that. And it's not hard to get better audio using either that or the DJI Mic 2 or the DJI Mic Mini or the Rode the Wireless Pro, Wireless Go. Those cost more. If you have the money and you know you're going to be moving around, yeah, sure, get it. But you don't need it. You should be just fine using that one if you just do this setup here and put the mic next to it and talk into that. But make sure that your room is not padded, but you have some blankets around to just minimize reverb. Hang some blankets on the sides of the microphone. If you don't have the money to buy something like this, put your phone up and put something on the sides, something tall, and drape it with blankets or t-shirts or pillows, just something to stop your voice audio bouncing off the walls and bouncing into the microphone, causing that room sound. So if your audio sounds roomy, put some pillows on the side of the phone when you're recording, and you should be able to minimize the room sound. And that's video and audio taken care of. Now, when it comes to lighting, I mean, I built that, but you don't need that. But as you can see now, I have, or you can't see that, but in the ceiling here, there are these huge light panels. But there's a lot of shadow on my face. Like over here. But it's bouncing, the light in the ceiling is bouncing off the white cabinets, the white fridge and everything. So it's not ideal and it looks kind of unprofessional. Now, watch what happens when I see what I have here? You see this? This is an IKEA light with a LED. I have an LED bulb in here so I can change the color. But let's see what happens when I take this light and let me just turn off. It's gonna get really dark, but bear with me. Now I can't see what I'm doing at all. Oops, I'm gonna regret this. Ugh. But we'll just plug this light in over here. Hold on. There we go. There we have a light. How am I going to get across? Okay. Now you see the background there is really dark. And let me just put it on auto white balance. Now you see my hand over there. If I can get over here without... Now I have just one light source in the room, and that's this light here. It should translate into... Are we all crooked? Yeah, I think so. There we go. I have just one light source right there. That's lighting part of my face, and that's where you get the beginning of something that looks intentional. Now, I could have a stronger light. Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's cold. Look. We'll be talking about cold and warm lights in a second. Light bulb, sunlight. Yeah. There we go. That's... Yeah. So with just one light, how does this... Hold on. I'm just going to grab my other phone over here that I can use as a remote. You don't have to think about this stuff, but I can use my other phone here as a remote to see. Yeah, there we go. Exactly, right. So that's just one light over there, and that's powerful enough to light my face here. And if I take the other light and put that over on the side here. I know we're digging deep into the lights, but it's sort of important and sort of not. But what's important is to understand that it doesn't take much to get proper lighting or something interesting going on. Let me just place this over... Actually, let me just place it there. What does that look like? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now you see that there's this rim of light here. Is there anything on my shoulder? Yeah. Oh, well, there's a drill press in the way. Let's just... that kind of didn't go well. We're good. It survived. Nice. Okay. You can see there's a... You can see that there's a little light here from that light over there. That's a rim light. And that's also on the side of my face here. And then we have the other light here. And, I mean, it's a stupidly simple setup. One light, two light. I can even take... and put this onto a color, like so. Let's just... See what I did there? One colored bulb, that's a really cheap bulb. One regular bulb, this is set to daylight, sunlight. And that's a really cheap, well, they're both cheap. Two cheap bulbs that are controllable by simple, stupid remote. One over here, that lights up most of my face, and a dramatic shadow here. And then there's a little kicker on the side there that's colored. Let's just do blue, purple, green. That's... yeah. See? I mean, something stupidly simple like this. And if you were to flag this, like block the light here so it doesn't shine onto the background, you can then put some separate lights in the background, some of those big, glowy, warm bulbs, just to light up the background. And if your background looks nicer than mine, you suddenly have a set. And that's like 15, 20 minutes of work. My point is, because there is a point, other than tearing shit down. The point I'm trying to make is that, yes, you can dig into all of this light stuff, and you can dig into audio, and you can dig into everything, but you don't have to. Oops. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to care about all of these things to get going. The only thing you need to care about is starting that camera rolling, getting some decent audio, and maybe, just maybe, spend a little time figuring out some kind of lighting. If you're filming underneath a single light up in the ceiling, put one light in front of your face, a table lamp, something to light up your face, so that is the stronger light. And then you can adjust your camera, let your camera adjust to that light so that you look good and the background looks a little bit darker, if it's a strong enough light. But André, what about the other two? Let's just zoom in here once again. See our drawing here? My point was, where did I put my marker? There we go. So we have this one box here, the practical stuff, the mechanical stuff, audio, video, and lights. It doesn't have to be difficult. You can easily do this quickly to get going. This part here, your content, your topic, your niche, that's the important part. This is the second part, the most important part, because without this part, the content part, you have nothing to film with your pretty lights and your nice sounding audio. And if you have nothing to film, you have nothing to edit. And not only that, but this part here is also what your viewers will connect to. And that's very easy to forget. But if you focus too much on this stuff and focus too much on that stuff too early on, you forget and neglect this part, which is the most important one. Because why are people supposed to watch your videos? Why should they go to your channel? Why should they click on your thumbnail? If you don't have anything useful to contribute on the content part. And that's so easy to forget because it's also the most difficult one, because not only does this part here consist of two things. That one thing is basically what are you going to make videos about? What is the topic? In my case, I sort of stumbled upon a topic or niche or I don't know even what to call it, but making YouTube videos about me trying to start a YouTube channel and documenting what I built to begin filming and how I sort of evolve the channel, that became my topic. That became my idea for the channel, what I wanted to talk about. But the other part here, this part is how do you tell that story? Or how do you tell those stories? How do you structure your videos? How do you, for example, if you're making, let's say you're making tutorials on how to papercraft, or you're making, you want to make videos about repairing motorcycles. How do you structure those videos? How do you go about telling a compelling story or narrating those videos If you don't put energy into figuring this part here out after you've figured out what you're going to make videos about, you have nothing. You have nothing to edit. All you have is a massive jumble of somebody talking, well, basically like I'm doing now. But it boils down to, like, this is something that you can quickly get a grasp on and get something that's quite nice, captured on camera. But if you don't figure out how this works, then you don't have anything. Your channel will probably not grow. People will click out of your videos because they don't go anywhere, or you don't have anything to talk about that they are interested in, and you don't really have anything to make thumbnails from, or it just isn't going to work. But this part here is, if you start small, not too difficult. Let's say you were to do a tutorial. How would you explain whatever you're doing to someone you know? You would, of course, if you do a tutorial, you would probably start by talking about some of the tools you need and materials. And before that, you might talk about, well, what are we going to do in this video? Just like if you were to explain something to a friend and get them into paper crafting, you would explain what you're building or what you're making this first session. And you would do that to the camera, and you would do that early on in the beginning of the video, so that when they click on it, you tell them that, yeah, this is what we're going to do today. If you're repairing motorbikes, you would talk about, okay, today we're changing the gasoline tank on a blah, blah, something, model. I don't know, motorcycles, but you get the idea. If you're doing a sort of political channel, yeah, you would start by just talking about what the video is about, and then you would get into the specifics. Now, the thing about this is that depending on what type of video you're making, there are different ways of structuring things. If you are, for example, doing a review, you want to talk about whatever you're reviewing is, and then you would talk about some of the positives, some of the negatives. You might discuss back and forth how important those positives and negatives are, and how they affect how you use the product. And then you would give your evaluation or a summary of what you're thinking about the product. That's quite different from making a tutorial on how to step by step make a paper swan, or painting a watercolor painting, or anything basically. And you can really quickly get a grasp of these basic sort of frameworks for filming a video about something by watching other videos or reading up on it, because all of this is also based on, like, back in the day when you were doing magazine stuff. Like, back in the day when people were writing articles in magazines, guess what they did? They did exactly what we're doing on YouTube. A magazine article is an introduction to the topic, or what the article is about. And then they either go through some specifics, talk about what this person has done, maybe it's an interview. Like, there are structures in how to tell a good story, and you can find information about that online. And the most important part to get going really fast on YouTube is to just learn the basics and make small videos. And this is the important part here. You can spend years preparing for doing this. That's why people go to, I don't know, journalism school. Or what you should do is start making a video. Start making that tutorial. Start making that repair video. Just film it. Just like I did with the lamp. And then figure shit out. It's not that hard. Now, what I'm thinking, because I didn't know this when I started out, but if I had known, I would have made much more videos faster, and smaller videos much faster than I did. And the reason for that is that YouTube is built upon momentum. So if you make a video 1 week, and here's one of the big problems that a lot of people starting out do, or one of the big problems that a lot of people starting out stumble upon, is that they spend so much time making each video, they either burn out or spend all their spare time making videos, making these elaborate, crazy videos, which I also did, and which I shouldn't have. I should have made smaller videos, shorter videos, broken them up into one video into 2 or 3 videos. Because that way you get output faster and nobody really cares about your channel. But if you make videos that are about a topic that people are interested in, some people will follow you anyway. But you will learn so much faster by just doing the work. And going back to, hold on. I'm just trying to clean up the shop. Now, going back to the paper, when we look at the Trinity, the practical stuff, the topic you're going to make, or niche, or whatever. Here we go. So this looks like a brain, you know? This is actually looks like, so 2 parts of a brain, yeah. Whatever topic you make videos about and how you make or tell those stories. Spending time here making videos, not reading about it, not looking on YouTube videos to learn how to do it properly. Do it, figure out what doesn't work, and then go looking for answers. Then make another video, figure out what doesn't work, go looking for some answers. Don't watch 15, 20, 25, 30 videos. Watch maybe 1 or 2 until you have some kind of sort of notion of where you're going. And keep doing this. Now, I haven't included this part here yet, which is editing. Because basic editing is really simple. You have to spend some time with the software, of course, because without the time spent in the software, you won't know how the program works. But just as with camera and light and audio, it doesn't take long to figure out how to import one video clip, make a cut, make another cut, and then delete a part. And hey, that's a start, right? And the process of making a video, for example, now I'm talking a lot. Now we are all crooked again, I think. Let me just... Yeah. Okay. This is the really interesting part. If you sit down for 5 minutes, record yourself talking about something you love, something you like doing. I could talk, for example, about roller skates and roller skate maintenance and everything related to that without really thinking about it. However, if I were to talk for 5 minutes about how to adjust your roller skates, I could film that sequence. That would take approximately 4 to 5 minutes. And it's a perfectly fine video. And then import that one file and cut out little pieces here and there. Maybe where I'm stopping and thinking or going back and rephrasing something. That doesn't take a lot of time. And that's how you begin to learn. So let's do sort of a quick roundup. If you want to start a YouTube channel, figure out how the camera app works, or download the Blackmagic camera app and figure out how it works. A couple of videos online should enable you to use the Blackmagic camera app pretty well. Get a cheap microphone if you can. It will make life a lot easier, and it will also make editing easier in terms of adjusting volume and that kind of stuff. Next thing you do is figure out the topic you want to make videos about and film a small 5-minute sequence. And then you take that 5-minute sequence, sit down with either your phone and an editing app or download something on your computer. CapCut is an option. It gets worse every day because they keep hiding things behind the paywall. DaVinci Resolve is free, but it's also super complex. Not really, but you need to know what to ignore, which takes a little time. But a couple of tutorials there as well could fix that right up. And now you have made your first video. You set your phone up, connected whatever microphone you bought or not, recorded 5 minutes, cut that up, and now you watch it back. So what don't you like about it? Write that down. Take one of those things, one little thing that you don't like. Let's say you don't like the lighting. Well, we just looked at lighting. You need a couple of lamps, turn off the ceiling lights, put up your lamps, move them around, try some test shoots, get a friend in there. That's what I'm doing. Get a friend in together with you and put them in a chair and try to light them so that they look nice. That's perfect. If you get a friend over, make a cup of tea, cup of coffee, buy a 6-pack of beers, put them in a chair and try out different types of like moving the light around. Just try it shit out. If you have a nice background, cool. If you don't, make one. Put up a shelf, put some stuff in the shelf, put a lamp or two in the shelf. Get a bulb that you can adjust via remote, or that is dimmer, has a dimmer switch, you know? Just do simple stuff like that to figure out how everything works and what doesn't work for you, and then go searching for solutions to those problems and make another video. Or maybe even make the same video, because now you know what you're talking about, everything looks a little better, and film it again. That's what I did before I made that first video about the key light. And a couple of those, like the coffee video I made where I'm like throwing a cup of coffee, like that was just me testing what video filmed in my space here with the lights I had with nothing else added. What does that look like filming a small sequence of just putting water and coffee in a cup and all that? I did that. And did I put that in the right shelf with the right size? Probably not. Yeah, I did. 7. No, hold on. That's the 6. Okay. Why is that 7? 6? Damn it! Okay. Trying to talk and clean up the shop and organize my roller skates. Not easy. Anyway, back to the... I promise you, we'll get back to the point. By doing this, by just making these little videos and making the same video several times, but improving one thing, not many things, not trying to improve everything, not trying to learn how to write a hook right out of the gate, because that's not going to help you. That's for later. Ignore everything that is not putting the camera down, getting the audio up and running, recording yourself, and then editing that to something that sounds or looks kind of usable. That's your only thing. That's the only thing you need to focus on. Do that a couple of times, and then you know if you have something. And then just publish and move on. Make another one. Improve something else. Like, one of the main problems with trying to make everything perfect on your first videos is that you know so little that most of the stuff... Nope, that's the wrong side. And these are size 6s, so they go in here. Now, audio is probably going to sound crappy when my head is in here, but if I had started all over again, and take this advice for whatever it's worth, if I had started all over again, I would have made smaller, shorter, more to-the-point videos. But I didn't, because I made a huge video about making a key light. But for some reason now, lately, I've been making smaller videos. And yeah, some YouTube gurus advise you against making small, shorter videos. Not small, but shorter videos. Because you can't have mid-roll ads. And you are way too small to care about mid-roll ads, because all you want to do is learn how to make videos and make better videos. So focus on that and only that. Don't focus on anything else. Don't let all the YouTube videos trick you into like statistics. Seriously? When you made 5 videos and you don't really know if the subject you're making videos on is actually what you're going to make videos on in 2 months' time. No. Just focus on having fun and making videos about what you want to make videos about, and then suddenly something catches people's attention. And then you can start thinking about actually niching down or going in a direction. I knew which direction I wanted to go in, even though what happened was that on the second or third video, when I bought the DJI Mic 2, in the advertising they said it was going to do something, internal recording. What they didn't tell me or us in the beginning was that the internal recording doesn't work if you connect the transmitter directly to a phone, which is also a feature they advertised with. So I discovered that and a couple of other things. I made a video about the good and the bad. And I was one of the few that pointed out that, hey, the Bluetooth connection that you're advertising makes it impossible to use the internal backup recording, which could have saved the really bad Bluetooth audio quality. And that video is now sitting at, 10,000 views, 11,000 views? That was like the third video, I think. Third or fourth. Why am I doing this? This is a size 6. It goes over here. My point is that video, if I had wanted to grow really fast, seeing how that video took off, I should have made maybe 2 or 3 other DJI mic videos the next week. And that's my next point in terms of things I've learned. Looking at my videos, it is some of the videos that have gotten a lot of views have been either gear videos, because a lot of people are interested in gear. So making a good enough video about some gear that has some kind of angle to it will get you views. The second thing was personal stories, or I've been doing YouTube wrong, but I'm still close to monetization, which is also still yet true. Not there yet, but that's also a topic that has a very high interest among viewers on YouTube. A lot of people are interested in that. The cardboard case I built for my GoPro does not have a lot of views, maybe 200 or 300. And I knew that going into it. I knew that when I was making that video, but it was a video I wanted to make because I needed to make that cage because I put my GoPro up in the ceiling to do overhead shots into the shop from the corner with a wide angle. And I might as well do a video on it because it was fun. The thing is, if you're fine with not growing super fast, but you just want to have fun, you can make whatever you want, whatever video you want. Size 6. But if you really want to grow really, really fast, then the advice of niching down is good advice. But if you want to niche down and you can't put out a video every week, you won't grow fast. If you can put out a video every week and you're niching down and you actually have something to bring to the table when it comes to the topic you're making videos about, then you can grow really, really fast. Now, I intentionally, after having those the DJI Mic 2 video and another one. And then I bought the DaVinci Resolve speed editor and made a couple of videos on that as well. And that also took off. So I made some gear videos really early on that got me a lot of views. And then I didn't make any videos for almost 3 months, 2 or 3 months. Not because I didn't want to, but I had to do actual work. I had to make some money. So I had to do work. So I didn't have time to make any more videos for a couple of months. And the weird part is that the views I got from those videos about gear, they kept rolling in for quite a long time, almost a full 2 months. And then I made a couple of videos that had a much smaller potential audience. And then I suddenly made a video that got around 1,000 views within like the first week or something. And my point telling you all of this is that there are certain videos or certain types of videos as well as topics that when combined together will get you a lot of views. A good example is, I keep forgetting his last name. Ty, I'm sorry. But Ty is a guy that started out a little after me, but he had a plan. He was going to make a YouTube channel about success on YouTube. How to be a good creator, how to basically be a creator, how to make a business on YouTube. And he is super determined. And he had a plan. He used a couple of spreadsheets to track his progress. He sort of hit all the right notes in terms of the topics. Nothing revolutionary, but solid stuff. He'd done his research, written his scripts, filming, I think, in his sort of kitchen, living room style thing, and delivering a new video every week, week after week after week. And the momentum you get from doing that weekly thing and also delivering, even though you might not be as experienced, because he wasn't experienced at all in the beginning, but he came back, delivered, made a new video, published it, delivered on that. Some of them had high views, some of them had lower views, but determined to actually succeed. He kept going, and now he's monetized. I think it was less than a year. I'm now at a year, and I'm 3/5 on the way to get monetized, but I'm going to lose some watch time hours pretty soon. So I don't know, but I don't care. I just want to make videos. What were I doing? Right. So this is good. We'll just put this back in here. So I've been rambling a lot, but going back to this here, of all the things I've been talking about, is that good? That good? Yeah. Of all the things I've been talking about, this is maybe a couple of days' work, figuring that shit out. You can then put down your camera and record. You're good. This part here and this part here is a process. You come up with an idea, you film it, you sit down, you edit, you review it, write down some notes on what you want to improve, either do it again or do another one. At some point, you want to publish one of those videos and start rolling. The sooner you publish, the better, because that means you're done with that video. You can always come back. You can always re-record the video because new viewers will come by and see your videos. And we haven't even touched into like thumbnails and titles, because if the idea is good enough to make a video about, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what the title is. As long as the title is in some way describing what the video is about, somebody will see it and think, huh, I want to watch that. If the thumbnail is you and a keyword or some word that describes whatever the video is about, Cool. Someone will click that. As you go through this process here, you will immediately, just after like 3 or 4 videos, start to think about more creative ways that you can come up with a title, maybe do a special, like a photo for your thumbnail, stuff like that. You don't have to care, like you don't have to spend any time on that for the first videos. You can do that after your 3rd or 4th or 5th video and just do it bit by bit as you get better at doing this. Then you can start thinking about the thumbnails. And then you can go back. You can go back to the first video and make a new thumbnail, a new title, something that you think is better. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. And nobody is going to judge you based on that. Yes, some people might come into the comments and say stuff. Yeah, so what? You just block them. You're done. It isn't that hard. And it shouldn't be that hard. And it isn't. Because all you have to do is just put up the camera and just film. Like I did. And then you make another one. And another one. Now, one of the pet peeves, or one of my pet peeves when it comes to YouTube gurus, oh, that was crooked. Yeah, it's like the problem I have, I just need to get something to drink. The problem I have with YouTube gurus in general is that their income, their traffic, their views, everything is dependent on getting people to watch their videos, and that means that every video they make, no matter how big or small the topic or problem that they're talking about in that video, they are going to make that sound like it's the most important thing in the world. And in most cases, it isn't. If you're starting out, there's only a few things that you need to care about to make a video. Unless you want to spend 2 years watching other videos, taking notes and trying stuff for yourself and filming in your basement and never publishing anything. The fastest way to get better is by making a video, figuring out what you don't like, and then make another one. All the other crap is stuff you can ignore. There is no point in focusing on that stuff because you're not good enough and you're not knowledgeable enough to do anything about it. But if you start making videos, you will figure out what you need to improve, and then you can improve those things. And that's a much faster and much smarter way to work. That's one of the key sort of learnings I have from the last year. So what are the most important things? I'm just going to disappear in here and get some stuff, and I'm going to fill these shelves with a lot of crap from in there so we can finally maybe see what's behind the brown door. But key points. When starting a YouTube channel, we've gone through a lot of the crap that you don't have to think about and some of the crap that you do. And all of the things that you don't have to think about when starting a YouTube channel, or for the first year for that matter. I mean, let's talk color grading. Color grading is a waste of time when you're starting out. Now, I have in the back room a shitload of comics I got. Old comics, like old Mad magazines from the 1970s or 80s. I think it's back to the 70s. And they have a certain look. They look old. Now you can spend a lot of time making your video look like something specific, but that's not going to cover up if you have a, what on earth is this? Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I completely forgot about this. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. See here? Olympus. Are we? Yeah, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, what the hell is wrong with? Yeah. Oh, we're fine. Oh, look at that. I had completely forgot I got this. Look at that. It's amazing. Oh, just look at the lines and the corners. Oh, that's an amazing piece of kit. I'm gonna have to do like some people I know, they moved out their apartment. What is this? 100 watts? Is this like a slide? I think this is for showing slides. Precision manufactured by Olympus Optical Co. Limited, Tokyo, Japan. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a picture projector. Oh, we're gonna have to. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a video on this one. If you managed to watch this far, you're one of the first ones to know that I will make a video on this really old piece of equipment made to show pictures, or dias, or wherever you call them in English, photos. Anyway, I'm going to put that on the shelf here. So, what I was talking, yeah, color grading. There are so many videos on color grading, and you don't have to care about them. For the first year, doesn't matter. Sure, as soon or the faster you make videos, or the faster you get into the habit of making these like small 4, 5, 6 minutes videos, at some point you're going to get really good at it, and it's going to go really fast. And as you get that storytelling structure type thing in under your skin, you're going to want to maybe look at color grading, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. But then you do it at your own pace, not as something you have to learn before you can make videos and publish videos. My audio, yeah, is that better, louder, more gone? Yeah, there's gonna be, yeah. I mean, this is not perfect. The DJI Mic 2, not perfect at all. I should probably maybe think about putting it under my t-shirt. Like that. Let's see if that works, because then it doesn't fall off on the side. It's gonna it hangs like that. Yeah, there's always problems with gear. Color grading, yes. When you start out, you don't have to think about color grading. My first videos, nothing of the sort, and those videos have gotten views. There's no point in spending time color grading when you could be spending time making more videos. There's no point spending time figuring out fancy swipes and spending lots of time. Look at that. Really old copy of Lucky Luke. Ooh, this is interesting. April 9th, 1945, Canada Newsweek. That's when the war ended here in Norway. The capitulation of the Nazis. Can I say that? Yeah. So I need to figure out where to put all my crap in these shelves. Let's put that over here. So yeah, back on track. There are so many things that the people making videos about making YouTube videos want you to spend time watching that you don't have to care about, because it's only going to make it much harder for you to make your actual videos rather than help you make good videos. The best way to make good videos is to make a lot of videos. And then make even more. And then just gradually ease into some of the other stuff. Instead of trying to learn everything up front, yeah, you might make a good video and it might take you 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. And then you do that for 3 months or 4 months, and then you get really disillusioned because your videos come out so seldom that you don't really get any traction. Now, you might even make really good videos that get a lot of views, but since you're publishing maybe every 2 or 3 months, they don't accumulate. So subscriber growth is slow. If instead you focus on making smaller, more to the point videos that might engage a smaller crowd, but at the same time you make many of them. And this is kind of important because YouTube works in sort of this, I think the word is cumulative. Now, you publish one video, and then 1 week after you publish another one, and another one. And all of these videos build on each other, so that as people get in and watch a video, they might go back and check some of your other stuff. And if you suddenly have like 13 or 14 videos, it might dig into 2 or 3 of the other ones. And all of this builds views and watch time and new people coming in. And some people are tipping some other people about it. So even though the videos are shorter than the 10, 15, 20 minutes long videos, as long as you're providing some kind of value or value. Oh, this is another one. Your videos don't have to provide value. They can, and they should probably, but they don't have to. But people think of value in different ways. Entertainment value is a value. So if your video is an entertaining video, even though it isn't about anything specific, but it's still entertaining, that is value. If you teach how to repair a, what do you call those, on the faucet? No, the thing that water comes out of in the sink. Yeah. If you make a how-to video on how to fix one of those, or like I did, a completely random video, it is one of my top 3 or top 4 videos. A video I did about, those shower holders, like you have this rod which your shower head is attached to. My shower head holder thingy stopped like holding the shower head, so it fell down. So I opened it up, figured out how to repair it, and made a really small, like 20-minute video. It took 20 minutes to film. It's a 10-minute video or something. And that has gotten like 3 or 4 or 5,000 views. It's completely off topic. It is completely nothing to do with anything I ever published on my channel. But still, it's gotten views. It has, hold on. As of now, the video has several thousand views. Let me go into the studio and the analytics, and we should be blah, 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 blah. There we go. Yeah. Sorry. It is not 5,430 views. It is a video completely unrelated to anything. If I go into the analytics, it will show, I don't think I have gotten, I have gotten 5 subscribers from that video of the total of 850 I have. but it's given me 147 watch time hours, a completely random video. And this is actually important. Like I have a niche of sorts, and it's videos about making YouTube videos in a way, but also about building stuff with the shop, cleaning, well, organizing the shop, and starting a YouTube channel and all that. When people are afraid of videos not being in their niche, forget it. That's one of the more important things I've learned the last year, is that niche has nothing, like, it doesn't matter. How do I put this? Niche doesn't matter when it comes to getting views on a video. Niche matters if you want to build your channel fast. Because if you make videos about a very specific topic that has a lot of potential viewers, then you can build your channel fast by niching down. And that's good advice. So if you're into, let's say miniature gaming, Warhammer, it's a very specific niche. It does have a broad audience. Like, there is a lot of people out there who are interested in that. If you have any unique approach to doing Warhammer, painting miniatures, playing the game, whatnot, doing only videos on that will build your channel quite quickly in most cases. In my case, I've been making kind of random videos all over the place, but each and every one of those videos, I've known in advance if the video was probably going to do okay or be a very niche. Like, I don't know if, can you see up there in the ceiling? You see that there? That's my GoPro in my GoPro cardboard cage. And my GoPro cardboard cage is a video that has so little views. Let me just get that. Yeah, 218 views. Such a great video. It is the almost worst performing. Now, actually, my YouTube keyword video is even worse at 172 views. Yeah. But in any case, let me just carry some more stuff. Each video is judged by the algorithm, and we'll talk about the algorithm later. But the algorithm takes each video and tries to figure out who this is for and shows it to them. Which have led some people to believe that, yes, subs doesn't matter anymore, yada, yada, yada. And that's partially true, but it's also not true. If you're doing a very niche channel and doing very specific videos on a very specific topic, then your subscribers matter much more, because the subscribers are the early viewers of your videos. And if every video you make is on point, is on topic in terms of the interests of your subscribers, then you will get a lot of views really fast. And those videos will also then be spread faster because they get initially good reactions from your subscribers. Not because, but the algorithm doesn't take that into account in terms of how they spread the video. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but think of it this way. Your initial views from your subscribers might give your video a boost. That boost will then help that video get traction to a certain point. But that can be a false positive, because if the video doesn't engage with anybody but your subscribers, then it quickly gets much less exposure. If it is a good video and people outside of your subscriber group gets the thumbnail and title and the topic is interesting for them, then it will continue to grow. What happens for a lot of creators now, especially big ones, who have either pivoted or stopped doing what they did when they grew really fast. Like a couple of video YouTubers, like YouTube YouTubers that got really big really fast, doing B-roll and that kind of stuff, stopped doing B-roll. And most of their subscribers from that era subscribe because of the B-roll. When they don't do B-roll anymore, and they do other stuff, maybe 3D printing, maybe something else, and that's not of interest to their previous, like, early subscribers, those videos get a lot less views when they're being published. Now, some of these creators blame the algorithm, which is wrong. What they should be blaming is their audience, who doesn't watch the videos, but the audience isn't interested in those videos because they're different from the ones that they signed up for. So if you want really fast, really big continuous growth, niching down, focusing, all of that stuff, yeah, that is the way to go. But it gets boring really fast. And that is why I didn't niche down. That is why I made that one video, which I didn't think was going to do well, that actually did, because it solves a very specific problem. But it also gives us important information, namely and that important, the important information we can gather from that video is that as long as the topic of the video is of interest to somebody, they don't care who you are. If that video solves a problem for them, they don't give a shit, rat's ass, about who you are, what other videos you've made. If it solves their problem, they watch the video and they're happy, and you get the watch time. Now, if you're trying to build a community, then you need to niche. Now, again, I haven't niched, but I have a niche, which is people who like to make stuff. It's kind of a niche. I know, it is, but it isn't. And in some way, that niche or type of, let's call it type of people. The type of people that are attracted to some of my content are people who themselves like to make stuff, people who like to find creative solutions, maybe make their own, maybe they have a workshop or are just interested in people making stuff. But I also get video people, like people who do YouTube videos, who, where the hell am I going to put this? I got to put it somewhere. Well, I can put it here. Look at that. Oh, look at the look of this. This is an awesome tool case. My main problem now is, should I restore it and repaint it in that same glorious yellow color? This is a water bottle from the war, I think. Now, this is tangent. How I clean up the shop is I put as much as possible. I take as much as possible crap. Well, the problem is okay, let me backtrack. Over the past couple of months, I've gotten a lot of stuff. And I haven't had the time to put it into shelves or store it properly, so it's all over the floor, here and in there. So what I'm doing now is getting as much of it into the shelves as possible so that I free up at least the floor space so I can move around freely, and then start to attack the shelves and the stuff in the shelves, group it and figure out where it belongs in terms of, am I going to make a video on it? Do I need it for film props? I do some of that as well. Some friends of mine who are in the film business, they sometimes rent props from me. Either old stuff I have or stuff I make. Like I made something for national TV advertising, a milk carton of fake branded milk carton that someone was gonna drink from. This is just a prototype because the two real ones were a little nicer in the finish, more of a hero prop. And those were, I think, used. I'm not even sure if they were on screen, but they paid, so I'm happy. But, what was I talking about again? We were talking about something. Blah, 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 blah. Am I? Oops. Okay. Ugh. Sorry. We have a lamp. This lamp needs to go somewhere. And right now, that somewhere is here. Yep, that's where you're going to live for now. Ah, that's nice. Huh? Yeah. Again, the way I clean up and organize the shop is just getting everything into the shelves. And then I can attack the shelves and figure out where everything goes. That is going to live over here on the workbench, hopefully. But I was talking about YouTube videos and... Oh, niche, yes. Back on track. Back on topic. Back on 76th Street. I don't know. Do anybody ever... Like, I have a Spotify account. I never use it because I only listen to DJ music or remixes and stuff like that. Look at this beauty. I actually got it working. Now I have to figure out where to store it. Of course, we're going to do a video on it. What is... What are those? Just empty boxes? Oops. Okay, this is... Oh, right. Now I know. There we go. Should probably put this sideways. Like that. Perfect. And you can live up here, I think. Or, yeah, that doesn't fit. Whoa. Let me just put that in here. That doesn't work. There we go. Perfect. This can go down here. And this, my friends, is a bow. I'm gonna have to figure out how this works, but it goes this way. So I need to find some string, proper bowstring or something. Yeah. Look, it's all knurled. Handle like that. Should probably be able to, shoot arrows over the river here. Let's see. Are we getting any closer to... Well, I mean, yeah, not really. Well, I need to put... yeah, I'm going to have to deal with that later. So, where are we? YouTube. Are there anyone watching even at this point? Are we even recording? Yeah, not bad. So what have I learned? What have I learned from doing YouTube for a year? The cliche that everybody talks about, just press record, just get started. It's true. You should. Just do it. The second most important thing, after you've done that, is don't pay any attention to 99% of all the YouTube guru stuff. It will just sidetrack you from making videos. Make video, figure out what isn't working, search out the solution to that problem, and if you have 10 things that aren't working on your first video, pick one of those problems and solve it in the next video. And then in that next video, you sit down, look at your list, add stuff that isn't working, pick one of those things, find the solution, make another one. By doing it this way, you get some serious traction and serious knowledge about how things work, and you get really comfortable. I mean, we haven't even talked about talking to the camera like I'm doing now. For a lot of people, it's going to feel really awkward just talking to the camera. It's going to feel really weird. And some people have, at least from what they say, they've been doing this for years and they still don't feel comfortable talking to the camera. I'm old. I don't care. Of course, I also don't have any people in the shop with me, so I'm the only one talking to the camera. I'm the only one here. Nobody cares. And I don't really care what the people at the other end, you guys. Well, I do care, but I don't really care. I don't think about it. I don't mull over it. I don't theorize over what people are going to think about what I'm saying. Like, right, this one, right now we're at almost half an hour of me rambling about YouTube and cleaning up the space and a lot of other things that has nothing to do with YouTube, but is also kind of related. Like, I'm just going to put the video out there and not hide what it is, which is half an hour of rambling. Or I might decide to keep rolling and just keep talking about more of the stuff that I've learned about YouTube over the last year, because there's plenty of stuff I haven't talked about. One of them being talking to the camera. Actually, when it comes to talking to the camera, let me just assess the situation in here. Because now I'm not even talking to the camera and I'm out here. Ooh, I forgot about this one. Hold on. I got to show you this one. This is a piece of gear. Look at that. That's an old film projector. Now that is a thing of beauty. Am I too far away? Can you see it properly? I mean, come on. This thing is beautiful. But where do I put it? Oh yeah, you can see I also have a couple of typewriters. Oh yeah, there are projects in my future. Some of them which will turn into videos because I make videos about whatever I want. And then I make some videos that I kind of know will do kind of well. But that's a different... Oops, sorry. Let's just put it down here. And we're good to go. And ooh. That's a completely different thing. Let's see now. We covered the 3-step or 3-part model with the mechanical or practical stuff. The storytelling and content and topic stuff and editing. Well, we haven't really talked about editing. Well, we did, kind of. But yeah, I mean, editing. If you can piece, like, like, editing is such a weird thing because an edit can make or break a video. But people talk about editing as if it's something magical, and it kind of can be, because you can take a piece of crap video and do something about it that makes it better. But only if that piece of crap video actually has some kind of substance of some sort. It's a sort of a diamond in the rough. Case in point, where's my softbox keylight? Yeah. The first video I made has a 600 and something views. Not great, but it's 610 views. It's really long. It's much longer than it should be. It's not really a tutorial, so it doesn't really explain how I build things. I just show it, and my hands are dirty, and I was actually going in here. But if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, Instead of trying to watch as many videos as you can on the subject of doing YouTube, try making a couple of videos first, and then you start looking for something specific that you want to fix or improve, or in some way solve a problem you have that you discovered while making a YouTube video. You see, that's the key. That's the whole key. The whole key is to not fill your brain with stuff that you might or might not need. Knowledge that you might or might not have any use for. Things that you might not do anything with for the next 6 months. Instead, turn it around and say, okay, I want to make a video about this. Then make that video. Why are my tapes... Oh, come on. The other day I was looking for tape to package some shipments for my customers. And I looked all over the shop. And they were here. There. That's my tapes. This is why I need to organize the shop. That's why I should take a month and just redo the whole shop. Now, to make space in here, I have to do something drastic. As in, how drastic, I might ask. Well, pretty drastic. And that's how you should think. Yeah, that does not have anything to do with your videos. Oh, what could this be? Could this be? Yeah, it's another typewriter. I'm not going to open that up. Let's just put that... Why do I have all the tools here? So tools over there, typewriter over here. There we go. And tools on the tool bench where they belong. Yeah, making videos. Yeah, don't spend a lot of time watching watching other videos on how to make videos. It's not time well spent. Try it for yourself. Just try. Just do the work. Just make some videos. And it doesn't really matter how they turn out. And if by any luck some of them turn out good, you can always publish them, like I did. Of course, it helps to have done some form of video editing before. But you can pick up the basics really quick. I mean, if all the kids can edit videos for TikTok, of course you can make a YouTube video. Remember what I said about just filming 5 minutes and then sitting down with the editor and figure out how to cut and how to make another cut and how to delete the piece in the middle. That's basic editing. And then if you were to move things around, then you're into storytelling and doing storytelling in the edit. And that's like level 2, level 3, level 4. And that comes later, because as you edit your small, simple 5, 4, 3-minute videos, you will automatically start to get these ideas like, okay, what if I did this? What if I took that piece over here? Maybe, yeah, I've been meaning to talk about this. I recently changed the way I make my videos. I never have time to sit down and properly script. I've tried it a couple of times, like writing out every bullet point, everything I'm supposed to say, finding a structure, figuring out how to take some of the content and put it sort of in the beginning to front loading the video with stuff to get people drawn in, and then blah, 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 blah. What I've started doing lately, and this is actually a good tip for starting out. Figure out what you're going to talk about. We talked about this topic or whatever, something that you know that you can talk about, that you talk about for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And just make sure that you have a point about what you're talking about. Or if it's a tutorial thing, well, just film yourself doing the thing you're talking about. But talk about it later. So film yourself doing the thing, then edit, and then sit down and make a voiceover track. Or sit at a desk, film yourself talking through the video as a voiceover track, and then insert that footage in between whatever you're doing. Whenever there's a pause or is natural that, or maybe you don't have any, like if you filmed doing something and you have more to say about it, but you don't have any footage, then you just move that footage over to the side and then cut to you talking about whatever. And then you move on to the next point, right? And this is what I mean by how I changed the way I make videos. So some of the last videos I've done, what I've done is I filmed the talking head part, or like the talking part. Then I sat down and cut away all the ums and ahs and all that kind of stuff. And then once I had that under control, sorry, I'm deep into the woods here. So what I did was filming myself and then editing the whole thing. And then I started figuring out B-roll. Now what this did, no, okay, sorry. What that did was allow me to look at what I've recorded and how I edited and where it would fit to put in B-roll, and then film that B-roll. Some of it I had an idea beforehand, some of it I didn't. But after doing the talking head part, I then filmed the B-roll. And that actually made it easier to make the videos, because the first task of just filming and talking through something, having that done was sort of a check. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. We have progress. And then filming the B-roll, then I could just reconfigure, then filming whatever I need. And of course, some of the B-roll I filmed while I was talking, while I was doing the thing. And then just inserting or filming and inserting additional B-roll, just building the edit almost dynamically. Because I hate planning. I hate planning so much. Planning for me is where ideas go to die. And I'd rather just film. Kind of like I did with this one. I should have sat down, maybe made a bullet point list, and I don't know if anyone is actually watching this far. Leave a comment down below if you are. But by doing these videos, instead of planning everything out and planning the B-roll and planning structure and planning, just by filming, I feel there's more progression faster. And that gives me more energy to keep going and making more videos, since I know that I don't have to plan everything out before I start filming, because I can always come back later, film an insert, film a voiceover. I can always come back and add stuff. And even though it makes my videos look sort of janky or sort of unpolished, it's almost become sort of a look to my videos, which is both interesting but fun. And at some point I'm probably going to have time to sit down and properly plan something that's a little bit more cohesive and, I don't know, more compacted, more useful, What was I talking about? Sorry, had to go to the bathroom. Oh no, there's a cut in the video. It's not authentic anymore. Oh. So let me try to... Sorry about this. A little bit higher up. Let's see. Are we still in... yeah. We're still in the green. Great. How are we doing on power? Holy... Oops. Is that power or is that... let me see if I can. We should have enough storage space, I think. This is interesting. Let's see if we move this over to the side, this side, and a little bit closer, like so. I can just about reach over here, like so. Oh, I think the 15%. Oh, actually, we had. That's useful. I thought that was a battery gauge. Oh, we only have 15% storage left. Well, it should be fine. We should be good. Yeah, I was talking about filming in it, like, yeah. Hold on. That doesn't work. I have to be the center of attention. Yes, doing filming differently. Filming differently. No, yeah. Okay, this is how my brain works. This whole video recording is basically a brain dump of what goes on in my mind as I do different tasks around the shop, trying to figure out how to make my videos, while I also try to organize the shop and, have have some kind of order in here. I can't put my arms over it now. I have a mic here. What I've started doing lately that I was talking about is that I film the talking head part, I edit that, and then I film the B-roll. That's one thing. What that does is it, instead of having this huge task of figuring out the script and the structure and the story and storytelling and all that kind of stuff, and then going into this huge filming phase, some YouTubers that YouTube about YouTube say that you're wasting time. You should batch things. You should do all that, like batch stuff, write one day and then film another day or 2 days and edit the third or fourth day. And that's fine when you do this as a factory, when it's your job, when it's what you do every day. That does not work for all of us, especially those of us who have to do a day job or have a different kind of job altogether to make money and do YouTube on the side. That's just very bad advice. But to make things work for me, if I get in the morning, sit down, I have an idea, I film a talking head section, I do some work, I sit down, lunch, eat some lunch, do a quick edit, half an hour, 45 minutes. Then I get some ideas for B-roll, which I do maybe later in the day or the day after. And then the day after that, I start looking into audio, maybe picking some music, finalizing the edit. Then I come up with a couple of other ideas. I need some B-roll of that. I should have something to illustrate this. Then I just add that to the edit. And the important thing about this whole process is that although you're not being effective, you are being effective because you're making a video. You're actually doing the work, getting shit done, slowly building your video piece by piece, edit by edit, pass by pass, slowly create your finished product, your finished video, instead of looking for that 8-hour slot to do all the filming and editing and all the other crap that you never have time for. And this has actually helped me. I'm going to clean that up later. That's just temporary storage for cardboard. Oh, there's so much stuff going on here. That's going to happen probably in another video or later. But back to, like, all the YouTube advice is, oh, you have to be effective. You have to do this. Be effective. No. If you're doing this on the side, you can't really be that effective. You can try, and some people can do it. I can't. But what works for me is to do it piecemeal. because then I have progress. Then I have things done. Like I can, if I have an hour or two, I can shoot some B-roll. If I have an hour, I can record, or half an hour, I can record a talking head segment of 5 or 10 minutes about a subject. If I do a to-do video, I can maybe spend half an hour doing the thing I'm doing, edit that together, sit down day after, record a voiceover, figure out, oh, I need some more B-roll on this, or I need something here that will make this clearer, or I need to redo this or redo that. Perfect. I can then film that the day afterwards, early in the morning when I don't have any customers calling or mailing or any deliverables or stuff like that. And that works great. And yes, it might be wasting time or being ineffective, but being ineffective and still getting things done is better than aiming for being effective and never getting things done because you don't have the time to set aside to be effective, if you get my drift. It kind of makes sense in my head. Yes, I would love to be able to take a full day, record 5 videos, but first I would have to set aside 1 or 2 full days to ideate and create scripts and do all of that stuff. But if I were to do that and then have to work for a couple of days, and then I would have to set aside a full day to film and then work for a couple of days, and then I would have to set aside whatever, a day or 2 to edit, and then I would have to work a couple of days. It would take 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get 3 or 4 videos done. And also I would have to be able to put aside a full day, which never happens because I have customers calling every day. I can't tell them, oh no, this is a filming day. Today's a filming day, so I can't answer your questions. That's not going to work. So my days are fragmented. Well, not by design, but they are fragmented because I have customer interactions, which means I can't lock off 2 or 3 or 4 hours and just do one thing. I have to answer the phone, answer emails, handle orders, that kind of stuff. Which means that doing the second best or bad option of being ineffective and filming a little bit here, filming a little bit there, having some continuity errors in my videos because I'm all over the place, actually works to my benefit. Because then I get videos done. And sometimes I can sit down in the morning and film 2 videos. See how that works? Yeah. And that is another important point that you, as a potentially new YouTuber, can take to heart. Not following the advice of YouTubers that says that you have to figure out all of this and set aside days and being super effective and all that kind of stuff. No, you don't. For them, it's important because it's their job. For you, it's a hobby project on the side, and it might actually work to your advantage to be ineffective, but get stuff done every day over a period of days. We're actually seeing some progress in here. That's nice. Maybe we will get enough space in here and get the place cleaned up well enough for you to see what it looks like in here. That would be an exciting ending to the video 2 hours from now or whatever. Like, I have no idea how long this is going to take. You might have to wait for another video, because if I can get this space sort of cleaned up, I still have all of that. I still have all of this. And guess what? For those of you who haven't seen it, here is a mini ramp. Right now it is out of commission because it's full of crap. I might have to cut that mini ramp in 2, put it up on its side, up towards the windows, to free up some floor space, to get some of this stuff in that nook, to free up some floor space here, so I can get organized. I really do have a lot of stuff. Back to the videos. So yeah, by doing my videos this alternative way, I've managed to put out more videos more cohesively. I've managed to sort of stay on track. And the other day I managed to make 2 videos in one day, edit one of them. Edit 2 videos, film 2 videos, edit 2 videos, 2 5-minute videos that are currently, one is published and was number 1 out of 10. Who would have known? Let me show you. I think it's still 1 out of 10. I think it's going to flatline pretty soon because it is a very niche video. But let me see. That's not that. Let's go to content. No, that one has... Where? Oh, no, it's on the dashboard. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, look at that. My last video... Are we getting this, or is it too bright? Look at that. 1 out of 10. Get more desk space. Fast. 1 out of 10, people. And at some point it's probably going to flatline and be a 8 out of 10. And it's not a long video. It's, 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Average view duration, 1 minute and 20. Yeah. But I have another one lined up, which is cool. That's coming out on March 20th. Should be interesting. But back to the but we're not talking about me here. We are talking about, what did I do now? Now we're at this really weird angle. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's not that weird. Making videos piecemeal. Yes, it is my new jam. It's the new way that I make my videos. There's going to be a lot of clanging, so excuse the noise. Yeah, I need to deal with these as well. Maybe I should get a box for these, or 2 or 3. Why do I have 3 shelves in here, or 3 drawers? I have 3 drawers. I have no idea where they came from. I don't know where the carcass. I have no idea where the cabinet is. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Getting things off of the floor is priority number 1. What I do after I get things off of the floor is for André tomorrow to deal with. This I can bring out here. Just some toe caps for the shop. Somebody wanted them, but then they didn't. Oh yeah, another tip, because I'm trying to stay on track here. As a new YouTuber, especially if you haven't mastered the task of writing proper scripts and structures and storytelling, all of that, filming the main portion of your video, edit it, and then film the intro. Whoa, mind blown. See, the thing is that when you write the intro, you don't necessarily know what your video is going to be about, especially if you, like me, might not script your stuff or just film random shit that's happening throughout the day, or you're in some way, slightly disorganized. filming your talking head sequence or vlog sequence or whatever you're making a video about, but not filming the intro. You can, of course, film a intro, and if it's still relevant or on point or in some way works after you're done editing, great. You can then use that intro like it is. But if you then, after you've edited the video, feel like, oh, there's some stuff in the video that I should put in the front, or I want to front load the video. Front loading means, I don't know if it's a term that I'm using and nobody else, but when you're writing the hook, you want the hook to tie into what's coming in the video. You might not have the experience to write a good hook when you're writing the script, if you're writing a script at all. Knowing what the video is about and what your edit has become could make it a lot easier to figure out that hook, because then you know what the video is and you know what it ended up like. And based on that, it might be easier for you to do the intro after you've edited most of the video, because then you know what it is about. You know what you're talking about. And it might have, like, working with the footage might have given you a good idea about how to angle and how to hook the viewers. So thinking outside the box and not following the advice blindly of people telling you to write scripts and do everything in advance and then filming. Doing it this way, oh, I'm sorry, but these turntables, they weigh a ton because they're solid MDF with a metal platter. And they temporarily need to go back into storage. They should be fine. Sorry about the old man grunts coming from back here, but I turned 51 just a week ago. It's the 18th today, right? Week in a day. So the old man grunts happen more frequently. Let's just delete those. So, what have we learned so far? After what, an hour? I think we're at an hour. We've learned, or I've learned and told you about how you can just ignore most of the advice, most of the YouTube videos about starting YouTube channels, and just start making a couple of videos about something that you enjoy doing, talking about. Basically, do what you want to do. If you have no idea what you want to do, then you probably shouldn't be making YouTube videos. Yeah, but I want to do this, I want to do that. Well, figure out what you want to talk about and then make a video. It isn't that hard. And whatever's holding you back, think of it this way. When was the last time that you looked at the screen and pointed, copied a link, and sent that link to someone you know, making fun of somebody who made a YouTube video? When was the last time you did that? And if you do that, what kind of a person are you? Come on. Unless it was a video that was made to make you react in a way, predictable way of copying the link and sending it to a friend. Now, just think about that. When was the last time you saw a video from somebody who sincerely talked to the camera about something that you're interested in, that you then made fun of? Huh? Probably didn't have it. Probably didn't happen. Why would somebody do that with you? Why would somebody who shares their interest do that with you? Only stupid people would do that. And stupid people, we just block them. So don't let that hold you back. So why am I pointing my finger like an angry man at the sky? Don't let that control you. Don't let that stop you from making a video that you want to make. Don't let that hold you back so you don't make those videos. Because if you're not making fun of other people, then there's going to be people out there that are not going to make fun of you. There might be somebody who does that, but those people we ignore. We ignore them very easily. There's an empty box and another empty box. I have so many empty boxes, but they're good to have because it saves me on shipping. Because I don't have to buy boxes to ship stuff to my customers. Money saved. Partially saving the environment. This is looking like... Oof. Yeah. But I was... What was I talking about? I was talking about... Right, you're watching this because you want to learn all that I've learned. And what I've learned is just do what you like. Just do what you want. Just make the video that you want to make. If when you make a video, you don't like what you see, make another one. And if you don't like that one, make another one. And another one. My shoes are squeaky. Why on earth am I saving this box? I am never, ever, ever gonna send my drill press back. Well, that's for future me to worry about. That's actually a good attitude towards making YouTube videos. Make the video, publish the video, and then let future you worry about what happens with that video. Now, I can promise you that if you have something that you want to share or you feel like sharing with somebody online on YouTube, something that you feel someone could benefit from. That's the word I'm looking for. If you have something that you feel that somebody can benefit from, make a recording, write a simple title explaining what it's about, and publish and see what happens. You can always take it down. I mean, you can delete it if after a week or two or you don't like it. You can delete it. Well, some people saw it. Big deal. Who cares? I'm standing in the middle of, I'm in Norway, talking to my phone, making a video I'm going to publish with probably, I'm actually, that's something I thought about here. Why am I wearing this? I'm going to sit down and record an intro to this video, explaining that this is just a full-on sort of brain dump type, whatever, and a couple of other things. And then I'm just going to publish. Because I don't care. Well, I do care. At the same time, I don't care. But if one person finds this interesting or useful after having sat through an hour, and what are we at now? I have no idea. I think we're at like an hour and a half. This is almost like, this is a recorded live stream almost. I should have made a live stream. That's what I should have done, but that would have been even worse. Whatever negative comments might come from this. I mean, for all I know, some people might find this super interesting. I should probably use some kind of roundup at the end. Maybe I should do a transcription of the whole video, run it through AI, and get it to summarize everything from this rambling video, and then include that at the end or in the description. That would, I might actually try that and see what comes out of it. Could be, I mean, maybe I could use that to actually make some. Actually, what I'm going to, in the introduction to this video, I'm going to introduce it as a come along for whatever type, how my brain works, brain dump, ideation process, something. For those who want it authentic and raw, and you know, all of those fancy, all of those words that mean so much to the algorithm. We haven't even talked about the algorithm. I knew there was something I'd forgotten. This is why I should have taken. Now I'm pointing at the sky again. This is why I should have taken notes or something before I started. But the algorithm. Oh, I hear so many people talking about the algorithm as if it is something magical and weird and evil. And why now I just keep going back and forth. What time is it? It's okay. It's 15 past 9 in the evening. So I have at least 4 to 5 minutes. Too bad for you, because you have to listen to me for another 4 to 5 minutes. The algorithm is what I was talking about. Right. See, the thing about the algorithm, what people forget is that YouTube consists of 2 things. Not sure if I'm phrasing this correctly, but YouTube is 2 things. It's the algorithm and it's the viewers. Those 2 things, the algorithm and the viewers, have 2 different jobs. And their jobs are separate from each other. The interesting thing is that people blame the algorithm for stuff that is people's fault. And they blame people for stuff that's the algorithm's fault. Or, no, they blame people for what's their own fault. Let me explain what I'm thinking. See, the way that YouTube works, very simply explained, is that you make a video, you upload it, and then you write in a title and a thumbnail, right? You make the title and the thumbnail. You also decided on the topic of the video. And you made that video and you cut it and you did everything. Hopefully. Or you hired somebody. I don't know. Anyway, you're responsible for the video and the thumbnail and the title, right? What happens next is that the algorithm, some piece of software, goes through the video, looks at the imagery, transcribes the whatever you're saying, probably looks at the if there's text on the images, it probably traces out that text, so it gets an understanding of what it is. In the same way that a well-written web article with a title and subtitles and sub-subtitles, like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, properly structured document. If you write an article online, a search engine grabs that article, indexes it, figures out what it's about, and if somebody searches for that, chances are that some of your subtitles and your structure, etc., will be presented to the person searching as sort of a extract. You've then done a good job because the search engine has easily been able to figure out what the article is about. When you make a YouTube video, if you have a well-structured, well-edited video that has segments, logical segments about the topic, that is well-structured, well-edited, chances are that it's going to be faster and easier for the algorithm to understand what the video is about based on the transcript. What you put in the description, what you put with the keywords and everything doesn't really matter, because the algorithm can trust what is being said in the video to be the actual topic of the video, the actual content. Whatever you put in this description field, it couldn't care less about, because you put it there. And they want to give your video the best possible chance of succeeding. If you're really bad at writing, or your description doesn't contain anything basically about the video, they're not going to punish you for that if the video is good. They don't know that yet. But based on what they can glean from the video, what you're saying in the video, they will then find people who might be interested in that. So if you have a very, very specifically topical, I'm getting into the weeds here. If your video is very clearly about something, let's say it's a review of a microphone, something stupidly simple, the algorithm will quickly pick up what the name of the brand is, what the name of the model, the microphone model, what it's about, that you have opinions about it, blah, 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 blah. And that will make it really easy for the algorithm to find people who have been watching videos about or videos with those same words and content, basically. And that's the algorithm's job. That's the impressions. That's when they show what you've created to other people. You see what I'm getting at here? You created the thumbnail, you created the title, you created the video. If you made the video well structured, the algorithm has an easier job figuring out who the video is for. If your topic is super esoteric, super weird, super niche, like super, super, super niche, YouTube will have bigger problems finding people who have been watching similar videos or are interested in similar topics. Of course, they have a hierarchy. So if you are making a super niche video about green peas and how to grow them inside a metal bucket in your bathroom, they might show that video to people who generally are interested in growing vegetables. A lot of those might not be interested in growing peas in a metal bucket inside their bathroom. They see the video thumbnail and the video title and might not click. Most of them might not click because that's like super weird. I'm not clicking that. This is my point. As soon as you uploaded the thumbnail and the video and wrote in the title, as soon as the algorithm has shown that video to people, it's your work that is being valued or evaluated, not valued, but evaluated by other people. Just like when you go to the homepage, YouTube homepage, you see videos, you look at the titles and the thumbnails, and you decide what you want to watch. In the exact same way, it's not the algorithm, but other people that see your thumb and title and decide to click or not click. The algorithm has no business, does nothing after it's shown that title and thumbnail to a person. See? This is what a lot of people in general, YouTube gurus, they talk about this like the algorithm is, well, if the algorithm is showing the video to the wrong people, then that's your fault, because you made a video that was difficult for the algorithm to understand what it was about. If the people who are seeing the thumbnail and title is not clicking after the algorithm has done its job, that's on you, because you made the thumbnail, you made the title, and if people aren't clicking on it, that's your fault, not the algorithm. So either way you look at it, if your video is being shown to the wrong people, it's not the algorithm's fault. It's your video that was so bad that the algorithm couldn't probably figure out what the video was about. But if your video is shown to the right people, but your niche is so narrow, then that's also your fault. And you need to take accountability for that. That's your problem. You made the video, you chose the topic, and it's your fault. You're to blame. And I know this is sort of the Norwegian harshness. We don't like to sort of make things look pretty. And I don't do that for my own stuff. If my stuff, like some of the videos I made, don't do well, I don't blame the algorithm. I don't blame people, because I made the video and I made the thumbnail and I made the title. I chose the topic. I edited the video. If they, for some reason, click on it but don't watch it, it's my fault. It's not the algorithm. I made a video about something that they're interested in, but the video was not good enough for them to keep watching, or not interesting, or not crazy enough. You can blame people all you want, and that's fine. Blaming people for them being shallow, or blaming people in general for not wanting to deep dive into your world of wonders and craziness, that's fine. You can do that. But it's still you who made the video, and the algorithm didn't have anything to do with it. So no matter how you, like, the algorithm is so good that it managed to take my little plumbing video, show it to the right people, and a lot of people clicked on it and watched it. Because I'm not a big YouTuber with a huge following with a lot of subscribers, a lot of people probably didn't click on that video, even though they were looking for how-tos on repairing something, because I'm small. Because if you're pitted, like, let's say one of the really big YouTubers make a video about starting YouTube for those over 50. Ali Abdaal. Let's say he makes a video about how people over 50 should make YouTube videos, start a YouTube video, start a YouTube channel. If he shows up at the homepage and my video shows up below his, and he has millions of subscribers, I have 851, chances are people are going to click on Ali Abdaal's video. Unless my thumbnail and my title are so good that his seems like the most boring video ever, and mine seem like the coolest video ever. And even then, a lot of people might actually click on his video because he's an authority, while I am a 851 subscriber YouTuber, and my thumbnail is probably not looking as good. But if my idea for, or if my angle for the 50-year and doing YouTube video, my angle was an original or surprising one, or conveyed some kind of sort of mystery knowledge or something, chances are that they might click on my video as the video they click on after his video, or the one after another big YouTuber they watch. But only if my YouTube thumbnail and title are good enough and the topic is on point. And then once they click in, if my video not looks like trash, but is structured like my brain is, kind of like this video, they might watch for a couple of minutes and feel like there's nothing new here and just click out, which means that my video is pretty soon not going to be shown together with Ali Abdaal's video. Now, Ali Abdaal's video, on the other hand, we know is going to be well structured. He's going to have some really good points. There's going to be something interesting happening every 20, 30 seconds. People are going to watch through that video much longer than they do with mine, especially if mine is super unstructured and trashy. But all of that comes back to what I chose to do with my video. I'm not blaming anyone else, especially not the algorithm. Because if my video has impressions, and this is what you need to look for, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like your videos go nowhere, look at the impressions. I mean, you click, I'm not even going to show you, but if you click onto your video in the studio, and then you go to analytics, and then you go to reach. So the last video I made about get more desk space fast, because, can I even do this now? Yeah. I have a hidden workbench underneath here on wheels. So I can quickly, when I need a clean workspace surface, I can pull this out, and then I have this workbench as well as that one. So it's a video about something, something, that's something. From 3 hours in, so I had, when it comes to impressions, within the first 3 hours, that video was shown to 221 people. Then in the next 4 hours, it was shown to 10,000 people. That's a lot of impressions, and the click-through rate was only 0.9%. Of course, I blame that on my thumbnail, and my kind of unclear title is something something. At the same time, out of those 10,000, 1%, 149, watched the video, which is 69 more than usual views. Yeah. So this has flatlined now, but it's still from 9,000 to 10,000, 9,008 to 10,006. So the graph goes like that. Not enough people clicked on it during that push phase, but it got 10,000 impressions. Now that tells me that YouTube understood what the video was about. And based on likes and everything, the video has so far done well. Not crazy well, but well. Also, I know that on Tuesdays, a lot of my audience is not online, not watching. But I'm not like, it was shown to 10,000 people and only 0.9% clicked on it. That tells me that I need to work on my thumbnails. I need to work on my titles, maybe the topic, but for some reason, this blew out of the water. So it's going to go and then flatline, probably. I don't know. Something could happen during the weekend. I don't know. I have another video coming out in a couple of days. Not related at all. What was I saying? Yes. We're talking about thumbnails and the algorithm. Like, the algorithm did its job. It showed it to 10,000 people. 10,000 people was exposed to this thumbnail title, this video. If they don't click through, which they didn't, is my fault. Either because of the topic and or because of the title and or because of the thumbnail. That's it. Simple as that. If they showed it to the wrong people, this is important. If they showed it to the wrong people, that's also on me, because that means that whatever I'm saying in that video did not make it clear what the video was about so that the algorithm could programmatically understand what the video was about. I think the algorithm understood it. I don't think people were, 149 were actually interested enough to click on it, but I'm a small YouTuber. Thumbnail looks like crap-ish, kind of. And that's just the way it is. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not blaming everyone in Google and YouTube and the algorithm and whatnot, because I know it was shown to 10,000 people. They were not interested. Either I did something wrong in the video itself or with the thumbnail and title. That's how it is. And from that, I can learn. I can also go back because it is getting exposure. It is getting shown to more people. Now, what happens if I change the thumbnail and title and the topic is actually of interest to people? If you have a higher click-through rate, YouTube will give it a second try by pushing it based on what those people who now are clicking on it watch, their watch history, the topic that they're looking for. So there's still a chance. It's only been one day. I published yesterday, around 10. And sometimes it takes 1 or 2 days after that first initial push for YouTube to figure out, okay, which one of these people who clicked, what are they into, which other people are looking at that, and when are they looking at it. They might be looking for that on Thursday, and then suddenly, we're going to have to see. But my point is, there's a lot of blame going around. There's a lot of people just blaming the algorithm, blaming this, blaming that. Your video is given a fair chance. If it doesn't succeed, it's down to your work or lack of work or lack of direction or lack of structure. It's all on you. and me. The algorithm does its job. And as long as it gets shown to people, then it's people's fault. It's the people who doesn't click. It's the people who don't find the topic or a thumbnail or whatever interesting. That's just the way it is. And there's one more thing. That one more thing is that I have to clean up some more stuff in here. Now, I'm sorry I can't bring you in here because I don't want to show you this room until it's partially, well, sort of presentable is probably the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I think presentable is the word. There are a lot of stuff here. Ooh. That I need to put into some boxes. Now, let's see. We can probably do that. Can't we? Yeah, that should work fine. I have some boxes up here that I want to put some stuff in. Stashing things away instead of. I know. I'm known as the cardboard guy because I do things with cardboard and I store things in cardboard boxes. But sometimes I need to put things into plastic boxes. These are some old electronics. Ooh, this is a Christmas calendar I got with 24 of these. Little metal puzzles. That was a really sweet thing. What is that? Yeah. Salt, never leave home without it. USB-C cable. Some bracket for something. Ooh, my Playmobil DJ guy. Ooh, and some old iPhones. We're gonna use these. These are electronics. Those are gonna go in a separate box. This goes in here. And the electronics goes in here. These are... I really should get around to doing this project, which I was doing for a friend of mine, making all of his daughter's lights compatible with... Oh, that one is for soldering. Not sure what that is about, but these can be used for shipping. Oops, there we go. So this is a project. This goes in the project shelf, but right now it goes up in the cupboard. Getting them out of the way. Let's see now. How are we looking in here? Yeah, but, well, yeah. Back to the algorithm. The algorithm is never the problem. Yes, you can blame the algorithm. Sometimes it could be, or can be, weird and all that kind of stuff. But in general, the algorithm does what it does. And if it doesn't do its job, it's either because your stuff wasn't good enough or people weren't interested in the stuff you had to offer. Because we are always improving. We should always be improving, and we have to improve, especially when we're small, because we're not really that good at what we do. Oh, this is this weird suitcase. I'm just going to put that in here for now. In the faulty gear storage. Yeah, it doesn't even fit. Okay, Christmas trees. Probably not going to use those for a couple of months. Okay, we're getting somewhere. What can I put in the shelf over here? So another thing I was thinking about when it comes to, like, since this is a video about what I've learned doing YouTube for a year, does age matter at all? Of course not. That's why YouTube is so great. Age doesn't matter at all on YouTube. And some people have correctly said or claimed or stated that age might be an advantage. I mean, I'm 51, actually. I'm 51. And I've managed to have a moderately successful YouTube channel last year, growing from, I think, maybe 12 subscribers from since 2007. I had 12 subscribers, and I've grown that to 851 for some reason. Not quite sure why, although I'm kind of making the content I myself might have wanted to watch on YouTube. This is a power supply that's really insane. Just look at that. Oh, that's harsh. Okay, over here. Now, being a grown-up, the fun thing is that I watch gaming channels where people just play through games, not complete playthroughs. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the microphone a little bit. Sorry for the handling noise. Sorry. I watch gaming channels, but I like to... the Real Civil Engineer, so a guy from Britain who makes these wonderful videos about games. So I don't have to play them because I don't have the time. He, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I get a really good impression, like I'm being entertained, which is quite nice. My point is that he could be 50, he could be 20, I have no idea. I think he's younger than me, but it doesn't really matter. What I see is that a lot of people over 40 and 50 start YouTube channels about doing YouTube, focusing specifically on a target group that is 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds, as if that was something unique. And in some ways it is, but in some ways it's not. People are people, no matter what age they are. And I think that whole segment, at some point, well, the problem I have with, or it's not really a problem, the problem I see with YouTube channels about YouTubing is that, like, I've made a channel that's partially about YouTubing, but is more about how I start a YouTube channel and do things here in the shop to be able to do other things in the shop that I'm going to make videos about that has nothing to do with YouTubing at all. This is just part of sort of growing up. But the problem with the YouTubing for 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds is that they are just a subset of vidIQ and some of the other channels talking about YouTubing. And a lot of the content they make will soon sort of run out in terms of themes. Meaning that in a year, maybe 2 years, 3 years, they will start to repeat themselves. They will have to repeat that same because there's only so much content you can make about YouTube channels or making YouTube channels. Like vidIQ, for example, there is so much regurgitating of content that I almost stopped watching them because most of the stuff they do are for new YouTubers, which is good for new YouTubers, but they might as well have gone back and watched a year-old video, a 2-year-old video, because it's exactly the same content, repeating the same things about thumbnails, about having a niche, about making a hook. They just make videos talking about the same thing from 20 different angles. And that means that you have this huge pool of an audience that come, watch for a while, then sort of grow beyond what they have to offer, and then they go watch something else. So there's a limit to how long you can keep people watching that same content being remade and remade and remade. I'm not planning on doing that because I'm not a YouTubing channel about YouTubing. To me, the most interesting channels I follow and that I follow and have followed for 8 years, 10 years, woodworking channels, maker channels, people who have interesting projects, artists, people who create things, painters, people that create things like out of thin air from like based on ideas they have, doing things with electronics. That's the channels that provide me with entertainment. Those are the channels that I like to watch. And those are the channels that I don't try to replicate, but like an interesting thing was Casey Neistat blew up like insanely huge. I had no idea who during the pandemic. I mean, that's like what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? Oh God. I caught on to Casey Neistat really, really, really late. For some reason, and I know why, he never showed up in my feed. Because his stuff was not something that... It didn't... Like, I might have seen one or two of those, going to Dubai on a crazy $100,000 airplane ticket, cabin, whatever type video. A couple of those might have shown up, and I was like, oh, what is this dude? Little did I know. Now, once I discovered his earlier videos, and once I discovered the videos he made on HBO with his brother, and once I discovered the story behind Casey Neistat, he suddenly became much more interesting to me as a character, as a person, as someone who made something. Because he wasn't this douche that just flew around on expensive airplanes. He had this whole backstory. And I binged every single video from the first one to the last one once I discovered who he really was and what he was really doing, what his sort of project was, and what was going on and what the deal was. And then I saw that some of those videos that had gone super viral were not his regular videos. Those were his, oh, I can do this now type videos. And they get me crazy amounts of views. But the ones that I found really interesting was the modification videos he did on how to modify your camera, how to create the flying carpet he did with Jesse guy, which I also discovered through very late. Like, I had no idea he and his then girlfriend did, those videos. Sort of prank videos and that kind of thing. Like, Jesse blew up. That part of YouTube was like invisible to me, which is really that's really interesting about YouTube is there are these segments on YouTube that are like they're invisible. The algorithm is so good that it manages to hide certain things based on what you watch and what you don't watch. And this is really like, for example, wargaming and Warhammer and miniature painting is something that I really got interested in a couple of years ago. It's something that I grew up with, seeing like second or third edition Warhammer 40k in the shops, in the comic book shop. Really liking the artwork and some of the games and stuff, like the looks of it, but never played it, never got into it. And then I rediscovered it just like 3 years ago, and I got myself a starter kit and started painting and really enjoying it. Might even start a channel on it maybe someday, or maybe do something about it, like scratch building some here. Anyway, that, like, before I started looking or searching for that, I had not seen any videos about that topic at all, ever on YouTube that I can remember. But once I started digging, my feed was full of it. And the algorithm is really, really, really good at that. And this is why I can't blame the algorithm for anything bad that happens with my videos. Because time and time again, I experienced that the algorithm is doing an amazing job of feeding me videos that I'm actually interested in to a certain point. Of course, at some point, it can't really differentiate between the actual contents. So it will feed me videos that talk about exactly the same thing as maybe the other 3 videos I watched on the topic. And once I start getting a lot of videos that are exactly the same as a lot of stuff I already watched, then I go watch something else. Then it only takes a couple of days before my feed looks completely different based on whatever I'm watching. And that is very interesting because these sort of sub area or sort of not dark corners, but these sub areas on YouTube, once you discover, like, for example, Commodore 64 programming is a sub genre of computer programming type videos. I grew up with the C64, Commodore 64, and I tried my hands at coding in machine language or assembly or whatever the correct term is. And I gotten into that lately again because I wanted to see if I could actually understand it now as an adult. I had some trouble understanding how it worked. And as soon as I dived into that, a whole new world opened up. Suddenly I was exposed to Norwegian YouTubers that talk about and make videos about how to program machine language on a machine that came out in like the 70s. And it's really interesting to see how quickly you can just dive into and get really knowledgeable and get exposed to all of these different channels. It's actually starting to look good in here. Or, well, not good. Still a hellhole. But we are getting somewhere. This needs to go to the cabin. But yeah, use that. That's another thing. Like, again, the topic of this video, things I've learned about YouTube for the last year. Look at your own usage of YouTube. Look at how you use YouTube and how YouTube reacts to you watching different things. Try finding some kind of interest. Like, for example, if you pick an interest that you had as a child, and then you do a search on YouTube for videos about that. Let's say you're interested in horse riding, skateboarding, find something that you haven't watched videos about for several years or at all. Start searching for videos about that topic and see what comes up and how you react to what comes up, which videos you click on, what attracts you. Now try to put yourself into the mindset of your own brain, like analyze how you're thinking and apply that to your own videos. It's really easy to get caught up in, oh, my videos about this topic should be like this or like that. But look at what you're looking at. Look at what you find interesting. And try to not copy it, but figure out what it is that triggers you into clicking. For example, there's this trend going on where with authenticity and realness and whatever, which I kind of hate because now every YouTuber has to include the words authentic, real, something. I don't know. Yeah, you get what I'm talking about. I have nothing against people making like bare bone videos. I'm doing it myself right now. Half my videos are just putting up the camera and filming. But the problem is that the algorithm is forcing people to include all of these words, and I just cringe every time I hear someone talking about you being your authentic self. Yeah, of course, I am my authentic self. I'm me. Who else am I going to be? Yes, people might think they need to be somebody else, but the way that people talk about these things and put labels on them and hooks on it, it's like you shouldn't have to put the words authentic in a video for it to succeed, but of course it does. So you have, now I've said authentic like 10 times. So this video is probably going to show up in a lot of feeds for people making or starting YouTube or looking at content regarding this. Good luck, algorithm, trying to figure out who this video is for. Oh, if only I had a little bit more shelf space, this place would start to look kind of nice. I have a huge TV in here. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I don't know. But I have managed to clear shelf space for turntable number 2. But yeah, back to my point. Kind of going around in circles here. I'm really interested in knowing exactly what ChatGPT is going to make of this whole brain dump, because we're closing in on a couple of hours, I think. And if you manage to watch this far, you're the champion for sure. Which one of these are my cables? So these are, yeah, audio, ground, and that should be the power cable, I think. Yep. There we go. Yeah. What have I learned? Probably learned something else. But I mean, the problem with YouTube is that it's both super complex if you want to dive really in, like really dive into things. But most of the stuff is, by and large, it is pretty simple. It's basic human psychology. Make something sensational. Make something sensational. People will click. Make something so big that you can't really imagine somebody actually doing that. People will click. But that's the 1%. For most other people, making something that's useful, that seems vaguely interesting, entertaining, just doing things that intrigues people, something that would, if you saw it yourself, would intrigue you, is for most people the answer to what they should make videos about. If you're running a farm, and I'm thinking about you, Mr. Dane, Mr. Lysemose, he has a Danish guy I've been talking to in the comments. Oh, and also, thank you for the donation. He bought me a cup of coffee. Like digital, but and that was really appreciated. I'm gonna thank him if he doesn't watch this. Like if you watch this all the way to the end, thank you for the coffee. If not, and leave it in the comments so I know that you saw it. If not, I'm gonna thank you at the beginning of another video. I'm sorry, I just haven't gotten around to it. I was like, ooh, what's going on? Someone bought me coffee. That was very nice. Much appreciated. This guy has a farm. And he's making some amazing videos. He doesn't have a lot of time to make those videos because a farm is a lot of work. So much work. But he makes these wonderful little videos that are super entertaining to watch. They usually don't go anywhere. It's just him documenting things that happen on the farm, projects. There's this party tent disco space thing they made for fall party, I think it was. But it's super interesting to watch. Just seeing another person living their life, doing weird things or doing things in general. That's just interesting to watch. It doesn't have to be sensational. Of course, he's not going to get 1 million views unless he does something crazy on the farm, like building a bunker underneath it, which is a good idea. An Englishman, you know who I'm talking about maybe, built an underground bunker. Those videos are hilarious. But as a potential YouTuber, as a new YouTuber, as somebody who's just starting out or just sort of thinking about it, again, just do it. Just make a video, publish, and see what happens. If it doesn't do well, make another. Yes, one of them didn't do well. That doesn't mean that the world hates you. It just means that, well, some people saw your video. Some people didn't. But circling back to what we talked about earlier, well, a couple of hours ago. Oh, that's... Okay, there's a reason why I started DJing digitally instead of transporting 2 or 3 cases of vinyl around. Yes, they do sound better. Yes, they are physical. Yes, they are so much more fun to play with. But the transportation cost and having to lug shit around like that, oh, it's not fun. There we go. Okay. That helped a little bit. The TV, I have no idea how I'm going to store. There are bags and bags of... we'll figure that out tomorrow. What can I do with those? I have nowhere to put those at all. But yeah. But going back, as a new YouTuber, don't overthink it. It's not worth it. You're just wasting time. The only thing you should be spending time on, after having figured out your camera and your audio and maybe your lighting, the only thing you should focus on is finding interesting things that you want to make videos about that you're interested in. That's it. That's all you need to do. And you need to do that for weeks. You need to do it for months. Maybe even a year. And as you do that, every week, every other week, whatever fits your schedule, don't stress the schedule. Now, I've been posting, there's been weeks between posts, months between posts, and still I've grown from almost 0 to 851. The only thing that's been hurt by that is my sort of continued growth. But every time I post, something happens. People watch more videos and I get some subscribers, get some views. So even though you miss out on maybe a week or 2 or 3 or a month or 2 months, it's not a problem. You can always restart. You can always reset everything and start again. You can change your whole channel topic. Just be aware that, yes, you will then sort of move backwards a couple of steps and have to rebuild. That's not a big problem. Where the did I put my... there we go. It's not really... YouTube is extremely forgiving. That's one of the things I've learned this year. YouTube is extremely forgiving in that it doesn't really judge you at all. It only takes a video, presents it to an audience, and the audience are the ones that decide if they want to watch or not. YouTube doesn't really care. And your audience doesn't really care because if you make a video about something completely different than the 9 other videos you made, if that video finds its audience, then those people are happy and you made a good video that did well. It's not that difficult to understand if you think about it, because you make something and people might have a relationship to your channel. And if you change everything around, the worst thing that happens is that those people won't be watching your videos anymore. Now, if you like those people and you like the stuff that you made videos about, why not continue making those? But if you choose to, and if you want to, and if you want to change everything up, you can. And then you'll find a new audience. Then you'll find new people who likes to watch your stuff. But the only thing that will stop you from... Now I'm doing what the hell is this? The only thing that will stop you from succeeding or growing I also hate that term succeeding on YouTube, because YouTube is not like success or failure. It's the whole grayscale. And it doesn't matter if you're here or there, just in general. It matters if you want to make it a job. It matters if you want to make it into a financial adventure that pays for all your fun stuff. But if you're just doing this for fun, it doesn't really matter where on the scale you are. If you're growing, you're a success. If you're growing slower than you did 2 months ago, you're still having success as long as you're actually gaining subscribers. If you're just losing subscribers, that just means that your content is not for them, and you just have to do it a little longer to find your actual audience. It's very, very forgiving, but as the more narrow you get, of course there's going to be fewer people who watch your videos. That's just how the world works. YouTube doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't owe you anything. All you need to think about is, am I happy making the videos I'm making? If yes, then continue. But if you at the same time complain about growth, and you don't have the insight to see that, well, I'm making these really super narrow niche videos, why am I not growing? Then you might have to take a couple of steps back and do a reality check. Because nobody owes you anything. But if you put your heart and soul into making videos, you will get views. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be hard. As long as you do it on a regular basis and try your best. And whatever happens, happens. Don't take it too seriously. So, is that everything I've learned the last year? Did I learn anything else? I don't think so. Well, I probably did. But I think this is too long already. Thank you for watching. If you got it this far, if you skipped ahead, you should probably skip back and watch the rest of the video. If you thought there was going to be this big reveal, actually, hold on. Let's see what we have here. Here's a little sneak peek of what I have to work with and what I have to figure out. Okay, we got plenty of space left. So, the brown door, what's behind it? Let's see now. It's a work in progress. Oh yeah. This used to be my office. There's a lot of crap here that I need to figure out what to do with. Mainly, I have to get some more, guess what, shelves. Always. The answer to everything is shelves. But let's get real for 2 seconds. If you managed to watch all the way to the end, thank you. This has been a, 2-hour brain dump, 2.5-hour brain dump. Let's see what ChatGPT, I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm going to use this as a basis for another video. And this is how I get some of my ideas. They just pop up as I do things. And this could work for you as well. Once you start making videos, this is actually really important. Why did I put this at the end? Once you start making videos, ideas will generate ideas. You will get new ideas from some of the ideas you do. Some of the stuff you talk about in your videos will generate new ideas. If you do tutorials, you will get ideas for new tutorials you can do. Something will show up or something will happen while you do a tutorial that will trigger another idea. If you just sit back and watch videos about making videos, that's not going to happen. You're going to forget those. But if you keep creating videos, you will get new ideas and keep creating those videos, getting new ideas. Because creativity is a process that feeds itself. If you do it, it's like exercise. You just get better and better and better at not only coming up with ideas, but coming up with more ideas so you have more to choose from, so you can pick the really good ones, put the other ones on the boiler, Let it simmer. Oh, something is happening in the back. But yeah, if you haven't done creative work, now I've been working with web page design stuff, making websites since late 90s. I've been working in advertising agencies with campaigns, web-based campaigns. I've been working creatively my whole life. And if there's one thing, I'd like, even before I started working, we had a graffiti company that made like graffiti murals for youth centers and that kind of stuff. And this was before I was even finished in school. Creativity spawns, yeah, that's the word. Creativity spawns creativity. So once you start doing creative shit, you're going to get more creative and more creative and more creative. So starting making YouTube videos instead of watching videos about how to make YouTube videos will really fast get you into this mindset, coming up with ideas, writing them down, new ideas, throwing some of them out, repurposing some of them, merging some together, pulling some apart into different videos. If you don't start, nothing happens. If you do start, it's going to go slowly in the beginning. It always does, because you have to sort of reconfigure your brain. But once you do, some wonderful things might happen. And with that, I bid you goodbye. That's bad. Yeah, but it's on tape. I don't care. People, whoever is left, take care. I'll see you in the next one, which I promise will be shorter. Might do another brain dump sometime. Maybe not. And look out for the big studio remodel. This cleaning up shit I've done today, it's just the start. Because I'm going to have to redo this whole workshop probably before summer. That's going to be a lot of work. Bye.